The message glowed on the screen, an open challenge, coordinates, a whisper of a forgotten forest, legends of strange sounds, flickering lights, people gone missing. Our viewers knew we lived for this. Mystery message challenge? I asked the team. Excitement crackled in the air. This was our chance to push boundaries, to confront the unknown.
"Let's do it," Jess said, her eyes gleaming. We were going in. The forest waited, shrouded in myth and rumor.
Local townsfolk spoke of it in hushed tones, warning us away. We thrived on that fear, that delicious sense of the forbidden. Our online community was buzzing, sending us messages of support and trepidation. Some dared us to go further, to delve deeper into the mystery. We were ready to deliver. Our viewers expected evidence, proof of the supernatural. We were determined to find it, to capture the truth on camera. The forest held secrets, whispered on the wind through the trees. We could feel it, an undeniable pull towards the unknown. This wasn't just content anymore, this was personal. We were about to face something real, something ancient and powerful. Preparation is key in the wild, especially when facing the unknown. We packed our backpacks with essentials, tents, sleeping bags, enough rations to last us a couple of days. This place was remote, miles from civilization. We couldn't afford to be unprepared.
Jess insisted on bringing her drone. "Aerial footage will be epic," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement.
Mark, our tech whiz, double-checked his cameras and audio equipment. We needed every sound, every flicker of light documented. No detail was too small. I sharpened my survival knife, the steel glinting under the harsh light. It wasn't just about capturing the unknown on camera, it was about surviving it. The forest held dangers both seen and unseen. We needed to be ready for anything. As we loaded the gear into the van, a knot of anxiety tightened in my stomach. This wasn't our usual adventure. This time, the stakes felt higher, the danger more real. But fear was a motivator. It kept us sharp, focused. We were ready. The sun dipped below the horizon as we reached the forest's edge. Shadows stretched long and gnarled, twisting like skeletal fingers reaching for us. A shiver ran down my spine. This was it, no turning back now. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the crunch of our boots on the forest floor. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sent a jolt of adrenaline through me. We were being watched. We pushed deeper into the woods, guided by the coordinates on our GPS. Strange symbols etched into the bark of ancient trees caught our attention. They looked like ancient runes, their meaning lost to time.
Jess zoomed in with her camera, capturing every detail. A low, guttural whisper seemed to emanate from the trees themselves, sending chills down our spines. We exchanged uneasy glances. The forest was alive, and it was whispering secrets we couldn't understand.
Our excitement was tinged with a growing sense of dread. We were in too deep now. Deeper we ventured, the forest canopy closing above us like a suffocating blanket. The air grew thicker, the light dimmer, and the sense of isolation more profound with each step. The GPS signal flickered, the digital map on the screen becoming a jumbled mess of lines. Our only guide through this labyrinth of trees was failing us. "What's going on?" Mark asked, his voice tight with tension. "The signal's gone haywire, we can't navigate without it."
Jess swore under her breath as her drone lost connection, the live feed cutting out. She had relied on it to scout ahead, and now it was useless. "It's like something's interfering with the electronics," she muttered, her face pale in the fading light. The forest seemed to be swallowing our technology whole. We were losing contact with the outside world, swallowed by the forest's embrace. The trees loomed larger, their shadows stretching like claws.
We stumbled upon a clearing, a circle of ancient trees surrounding a moss-covered stone altar. It felt like we had crossed into another realm. The runes we'd seen earlier were carved into the stone, more intricate, more menacing. They seemed to pulse with a dark energy. Mark pointed to the symbols, his voice hushed. "Do you see these? They look ancient." "These look like ancient Celtic symbols," he whispered. "Symbols of sacrifice. We need to be careful." The air grew colder, the silence heavier. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath. We were trespassers in a sacred place, a place where ancient rituals had been performed. The weight of history pressed down on us, and the forest was watching, waiting to claim us as its own. Every rustle of leaves felt like a whisper of warning. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. We were not alone. We needed to get out of there, fast. Panic set in, and we ran, hoping to escape the forest's grasp. The first drops of rain began to fall as we stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin, half hidden amongst the trees. The air was thick with the scent of wet earth and pine, and the sound of raindrops hitting the leaves created a rhythmic, almost hypnotic backdrop.
It looked ancient, its wooden walls rotting, the windows boarded up. The structure seemed to groan under the weight of its own history, as if it had witnessed countless untold stories.
"Shelter," I said, a surge of relief washing over me. We had been wandering for hours, and the sight of the cabin felt like a beacon of hope amidst the relentless wilderness. We needed to regroup, to assess the situation. The forest had an eerie, almost sentient presence, and we couldn't afford to let our guard down.
The door creaked open, revealing a dusty interior lit by a single shaft of light from a broken window. The light cut through the gloom, casting long shadows that danced on the walls.
Cobwebs hung from the rafters, and the air was thick with the smell of decay and damp earth. It felt like stepping into a forgotten world, untouched by time. A rickety table in the center of the room held a scattering of old books and journals. Each book seemed to whisper secrets of the past, waiting to be uncovered. We gathered around the table, flipping through the brittle pages of the journals. The writings were cryptic, filled with strange symbols and ominous warnings.
The entries were written in a spidery handwriting, the ink faded with time. They spoke of rituals and sacrifices, of a forest that demanded reverence and fear.
They spoke of strange rituals, of sacrifices made to appease the forest spirits. The descriptions were vivid, painting a picture of ancient ceremonies held under the moonlight. One entry sent a shiver down my spine. It detailed a ritual gone wrong, a warning of the forest's wrath.
"The forest demands payment," it read. "Blood will be spilled." The words echoed in my mind, a chilling reminder of the danger we were in.
The journal spoke of disappearances, of people driven mad by the whispers of the forest. Each page seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. Fear gnawed at the edges of my mind. The more we read, the more the forest seemed to close in around us, its presence almost suffocating. We needed to get out of this place, now. The forest was alive, and it was watching us, waiting for its due. Panic surged through me as I realized Jess was gone. One minute she'd been beside me studying the journals, the next, she'd vanished. "Jess?" I called out, my voice echoing in the silence of the cabin. "Jess, where are you?" We searched the cabin frantically, but she was gone. The journals lay scattered on the table, the pages flapping in the breeze from the broken window. Her backpack was still there, leaning against the wall. Where could she have gone?
"She wouldn't have gone outside," Mark said, his voice shaking. "Not in this weather, not without telling us."
He was right. Something wasn't right. The forest had taken her. Despair threatened to overwhelm me, but I pushed it down. We couldn't give up, we had to find her. We stumbled out of the cabin, the rain lashing at our faces. The forest was a symphony of shadows and whispers, the wind howling through the trees. "Jess!" I roared, my voice swallowed by the storm. A blinding flash of light cut through the darkness, followed by another, and another. They pulsed in the distance, an eerie, otherworldly glow. We exchanged uneasy glances. Could this be what we were looking for, or was it something far more sinister? We pushed through the undergrowth, drawn towards the lights like moths to a flame. They seemed to beckon us forward, promising answers, promising danger. The air crackled with energy, sending shivers down my spine. We were close now, close to the heart of the mystery. But were we ready for what we might find? The lights led us to a clearing, a swirling vortex of energy crackling in the center, and there, standing in the middle of it all, was Jess. Her eyes were wide, unseeing, her body swaying slightly. "Jess!" I shouted, relief flooding through me. "It's okay, we're here." But as we got closer, something felt wrong. Jess turned, her face illuminated by the pulsing lights, and a shiver ran down my spine. Her eyes were blank, devoid of recognition.
"Jess, it's me," Mark said, his voice strained. "Don't you recognize us?"
She shook her head slowly, a low moan escaping her lips. The air crackled around her and the lights intensified, swirling faster, brighter. We had to get her out of there. Now! I lunged forward, grabbing her arm, pulling her away from the vortex. She didn't resist, but her eyes remained blank, her body limp. We half-dragged, half-carried her back through the forest, the lights fading behind us. We ran through the night, the rain beating down on us until we reached the edge of the woods. We never spoke about what happened that night. Not really. The silence between us was heavy, filled with unspoken fears and unanswered questions. Jess eventually recovered, but she had no memory of the lights, of the clearing, or the strange, blank look in her eyes that haunted me. It was as if that night had been erased from her mind, leaving only a void. We posted the footage online, hoping for answers, hoping someone out there knew more than we did. Letting our viewers draw their own conclusions, we watched the comments roll in. Some dismissed it as a hoax, a publicity stunt, a desperate cry for attention. Others claimed it was evidence of the supernatural, of ancient powers at work, forces beyond our comprehension. They spoke of ancient symbols and mysterious lights, of legends passed down through generations. But for us, the truth remained elusive, a puzzle with missing pieces that we couldn't fit together. Each piece we found only led to more questions, more confusion. The forest held its secrets close, whispering them on the wind, hiding them in the shadows. Whispering them on the wind, rustling through the leaves as if mocking our efforts to uncover the truth. Etching them in the ancient runes carved into the trees, symbols that seemed to pulse with hidden energy. We had glimpsed the unknown, felt its power firsthand, a power that left us both awestruck and terrified. But some mysteries are not meant to be solved, some truths are too dangerous to uncover. The forest still calls to me sometimes in my dreams, in the rustling of leaves, in the shadows that stretch long at sunset. In the rustling of leaves, in the whispers of the wind, in the shadows that stretch long at sunset. It's a reminder that there are forces in this world beyond our understanding, forces that can twist reality, that can steal your memories. Forces that can twist reality, that can steal your memories, that can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Forces that can twist reality, that can steal your memories, that can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. That can steal your memories, that can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. That can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew, everything you believed to be true. The truth is out there, somewhere in the shadows of the abandoned forest waiting to be discovered. Somewhere in the shadows of the abandoned forest where the light barely penetrates, where the mist hangs heavy. But are you brave enough to look for it? Are you ready to face the unknown, to uncover the secrets that lie hidden in the darkness?